Hey everyone, we're going to do a part 2 of the how to make a mug and make a fancy mug and what that looks like. So welcome to our studio. We are here located in Dearborn, Michigan. The name of our company is called Glass Academy. And today we're going to talk about different feet and handle styles that you can put on mugs. Our first video was a very classic mug like this. It also did not have a foot. This one's going to be a little more elaborate. And let's pop over to see what Jake is doing now. The easiest way to work with your assistant is to show them what you're making. If you sketch it out on the floor, everyone's on the same page. Since we're working on handles, he's drawing a nice handle with a thumb bit, and then also some sort of foot, because that's going to be the focus for this video. All right, so Jake is in the green shirt. He's going to be one blowing the mug.
Yeah.
Oliver's in the white shirt.
Howdy, everybody. What's
And
happening?
you want to switch that around, and then...
Who's that?
Who is that? Who goes there? My name is Michelle. I'm the owner of the studio, glass blower for 30-some years, and I'm going to navigate and narrate as we're going along so you know what's happening. And with that, let's get started. We don't have any mics hooked up, so the sound is going to be probably mostly my voice, but we are a studio that is making glass. The other bench here is working on some product for holiday. We're going to be here at the main bench, and I'll walk you through the steps of everything that we're making.
For those of you amateur glass blowers and those of you interested in this incredible craft, I'm going to do this one in particular and just crystal clear on the body so you get a really good visual of how the bubble's introduced, how the body texture and optics come together, and then we'll put some color into the handle.
So the glass is not orange. It is only orange because it's so hot right now. And this table here helps shape the glass and cool it off. And it looked pretty fancy when he was swinging the pipe around, but that really does do something. It stretches the glass out. We are always working with gravity or fighting gravity, however you want to look at it. And so swinging the pipe, turning the pipe is how you stop gravity from taking over your piece. He's got 4 different molds here on the floor. They all do different things. Some are made out of aluminum, some are bronze. The one on the left there is bronze, that one is aluminum. When you go into a mold, it makes a pattern or a shape, and afterwards you have to heat the glass because the cold metal does suck the heat out of the glass. Now just holding and pinching the end and turning the pipe causes ridges to swirl a little. I'll show you what that looks like on the recycled mug here. It doesn't have straight optics. Now they kind of go at an angle. That's what he just achieved by doing that. Oliver's waiting to assist and blow when Jake gives the command.
Blow.
Which was just now, so you can see the size increasing.
Keep it coming.
This is a Venetian style of glass blowing where Oliver's putting air in it and Jake can maneuver and decide the shape of the piece as he's working.
And you guys, I'm moving fast. Michelle knows exactly where to film, but you gotta move fast, especially for this particular color pattern, but glass in general. There's a certain level of efficiency that is necessary to make the piece look intentional and let the glass do what it wants to do.
The other thing that's cool about we're not editing these videos is you're gonna see exactly how long it takes, how long the reheats are. The biggest thing about glass blowing is being an assistant and understanding when you are assisting timing of things. Jake makes it look easy because he's done lots of mugs, but it's not over yet.
This is upside down and sideways on the pipe. And right now we got the middle part of the body complete with the texture and the optics and the clear glass that we want. Now we're going to finish up the bottom and then we're going to add the gold foot. We'll do a gold and clear mug here today.
So like real gold? Like go to a jeweler's shop?
But not this particular color. Blow lightly, Oliver.
So crystal
Stop.
glass refers to clear glass in our studio. If we want to add lead crystal to the glass, we could carve the glass and engrave it. But technically, crystal just means clear.
That's nice right there. That's how it's going to sit on the table. Now we're going to put that gold foot on there and flip it around.
Okay, so Oliver knows exactly what Jake needs. He's going to go to the other side of the studio there and gather some glass from the furnace. That's our furnace that holds 250 pounds of glass. You can go in and dip out what you need. We call it a dip.
Dip in the dunk. Smoking a pancake.
Poke and a pancake.
Smoking a pancake.
Smoke in a pancake?
Yeah.
I have no idea what, like a cigarette smoke?
Yeah, smoke.
Okay. Were you watching some vintage movies lately?
If you guys know what that movie is, put it in the comments.
All right, so Oliver is dipping up and coming over to the next side of the studio. He's got an array of bins over here to choose color from.
Yeah.
I want you to think of a box of Crayola crayons when you were a kid and you were going back to school and you were in grade school, and on your school checklist was a box of crayons. Showed up for school and everyone had the same colors, the same crayons. But yet when you did your crafts, you all had different designs and patterns. So this is truly the essence of where glass blowing becomes individualized between the patterns, the shapes, the designs that they make. We all start out with the same basic ingredients, but it's this attention to detail that makes everything different.
So as I've got a really solid and cold, although thin, body of the mug, I'm able to squish up against it, while this foot that Oliver brought was really nice and symmetrical and really hot. And that's the key to working as a team. If Oliver didn't bring that over the way he did, I wouldn't have been able to sculpt it into a nice, beautiful, it's like one of those large, like, silver dollars, except even larger. It's like a 4-ounce medal, or it's like a Olympic medal. That's exactly what it is. So now it's just about a medallion. It's about equalizing the temperature of this, which is already, listen, it's already solid. I want that to become completely stiff so that when we stick a rod right here, it doesn't permanently connect to that and not want to come off later. It's got to be a tender connection.
So Oliver is shaping what's called a punty. That's the next step for this piece. The opening of the mug is attached to the rod, because remember how they blew through the rod, and the opening is right here, and that's hollow. It's about the size of a quarter. Jake mentioned that the clear glass is thin because that's the style of mug he wants to make.
And when you go for a thinner body like that, drinkware and a lot of glass blowing is all about proportion. It's a very important thing that I don't hear people talk about as much as I think it should be talked about. If this body's really thin, then I gotta make sure I have a nice thick foot on it to even that proportion out for a mug. Nobody wants to lift up their giant mug or their regular sized mug and have it be paper thin and feel like they're gonna start drinking wine out of it. It just doesn't make sense.
Also, he needs to balance the handle with this as well. So the foot having some weight to it will help, because if the handle's too heavy, the mug will actually fall over. It's a thing. So he's gonna use some tweezers, make sure it's centered. He's checking it out, making sure it's all copacetic. See how he just centered it there on the yoke a little?
Another thing that Oliver pointed out there, which is the perks of working with a team that knows what you're doing and knows what your end goals are, is that he mentioned exactly what I just said about the foot with the lift. He said, you want a gold lip wrap? Because this is a pretty thin, pretty delicate, nice looking situation here. And
you can see here, it's got a lot of movement to it. That's where the heat is. So all Jake's doing now is centering it up, letting letting it cool a little bit, stabilize so that he can heat up just the top section and work on that.
Yeah, so we're going to put a clear. This is both for the stability and the thickness of the lip of the mug, but also for a beautiful gold on gold clear in the middle. We're going to put a lip wrap on it, which is just an accent of color.
So our studio is 14,000 square feet. We do events and demonstrations, but we also sell our wares. This is how we make our money. We do not do wholesale. We have events and shows that bring people to our studio. And so this is a career for us. And we currently employ 10 people that work here. So this is a studio that we own. There are many glass shops where you rent time. And many people work. Some of those are nonprofits, but we are for profit. And we are making items that sell to our customers.
Beautiful.
So when the glass is hot, it's super soft. And just touching it to the side, it sticks. Oliver brought the correct heat, the correct size. So Jake made it look really easy by just wrapping that around. But that, I'll tell you, takes a lot of practice to make it smooth and efficient. No lines on it. And now they're going to open it up. So it's about the size of a quarter. These tools called a jack are what stretches the glass. And depending how far he heats it in the furnace determines how much he can open it in one time. So he's gone back to the furnace here a couple times, the glory hole, to reheat the glass. That is completely necessary for shaping glass. A lot of teamwork involved. When the glass is thinner, you have less time by the time you sit down. So you'll notice the bench is very close to the glory hole. Now they're going to work on the handle. The handle, again, is a separate piece of glass. So let me go get my sample. In this particular sample, there's some optics on the handle. Oh, it's time for a coffee break. It is morning. All right, so this handle has some optics in it. I don't know that he's making this exact handle, but that gives you an idea of what might be coming down the pipeline. And that little nugget on the top, we call those thumb saddles. It just makes the mug very fun to hold. It creates this optical illusion that's really nice. So we'll see what he decides for color. We have trays here. Before they go into the trays, it's very clear what color they're using and why. The finished color pretty much looks like what you see here. Some of them do vary. This gold that he's used on the top and the bottom will bring out the precious metals when we finish the piece. You'll see it a little bolder then.
So we call this the ear-shaped handle. Of the many styles that we do, I find this to be the most comfortable to the hand. All knuckles will fit right in there. This is about as small of a mug as I want to do this with. Because it'll just fit, I think it's going to fit perfectly proportionate right in there. Leave a little clear on top, a little clear on bottom. Have the gold come all the way around. Is this the one, Oliver?
Gonna be the one.
Alright, here we go. This is again about efficiency, using gravity, touching it as little as possible, and letting the glass do its thing.
This is a gold handle. He did not do any optics or twists in it because he wanted to do something that was reflective and match the mug. So there are no optics on this handle. And using a pipe, this is a copper pipe that has a wooden handle on the end because that copper is going to be hot at the tip right now, but holding it here with wood, it will not be hot. But you did notice that he has just one chance to shape that handle.
So as you saw in the drawing, this is the handle. It went on effortlessly. Really well brought by Oliver. He's going to use the leftover glass so that we don't have to remelt it, and we'll just go straight for our GA stamp. This is our signature, and we'll get this done before we move on to the thumb saddle.
So sometimes we can use a torch to spot areas. That's what he's doing here. The GA stands for Glass Academy. That's how we sign our work. If you think of Levi's jeans, they had a little tag that was Levi's. Glass Academy is the name of our company. If you like what you're watching, you can subscribe, hit the bell.
Oh yeah.
And subscribe to our YouTube channel. Those videos are for free. Always on YouTube. Always educational.
Did you say educational?
I
Same
did.
time as educational?
Our entertainment show is Tuesday night. These ones are the educational shows. No shenanigans here. This is a small dollop of glass. They chose to do clear because the handle is gold and the foot is gold. So the clear ones are cool. They're really reflective. Also, something to note here is the less you touch this, the better off you are. The more you manhandle the glass, the more scarring it gets on it, more bumps or ridges. But just taking a small dollop of glass, letting it round out naturally.
Just touching it with the flame.
Yeah, it looks amazing.
Quite reflective.
Okay, we will show the finished piece at the end of the video clip. It has to cool, so we will wait another day and then we put the finished item after this clip so you can see it.
We're going to do a little bit of iridescence here where this just looks like amber. We'll take the final heat here and we'll show you how all that amber becomes an iridescent gold.
In glass blowing, there are certain colors that do this, other ones that do not. So Oliver's adjusting the gas-air combo.
That's a nice smog right there.
Lots of it. Okay, it's still not finished. The cooling process needs to happen. We're going to be working all day. When we leave tonight, we turn this furnace off. When the furnace is off, we can show you the finished pieces. It's hot right now.
Put a little clear.
Torch on the bottom to smooth out the edges. And off to the annealing oven. Which oven you going to?
Number 3.
It's always the one across the studio. So here on the far end of the shop, way over behind all this equipment, voila, there are hidden doors that house an oven that's 900 degrees. Actually 925.
There we go.
Yeah.
Save.
All right. And so in there is where the glass will cool off. And we're going to work on some of the other mugs, so get ready. All right, thanks for watching, everyone. Jake and Oliver, we'll see you on the next video.
All right, see you later, buddy.